Everyone dreams of seeing Europe, the Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum, Big Ben. But what if I told you that the real Europe, the one that steals your breath and stays in your soul, is hidden far from the crowds? Beyond the tourist lines and souvenir shops lie places so unreal, they feel like they were pulled straight from another world. Emerald lakes that vanish in winter, villages with no roads, waterfalls that fall into the sea, and cliffs where monks built bridges to heaven. These aren't just destinations, they're experiences that change how you see life itself. And if you're waiting for someday to find them, don't. Because some places should be seen before 50, not because time's running out, but because these are the memories you'll want to carry for the rest of your life. So pack your sense of wonder. Here are 15 hidden places in Europe you absolutely need to visit before you turn 50. Ready? Let's begin. 15. Stuðlagil Canyon, Iceland. Imagine standing at the edge of a dramatic gorge, your breath catching as you look down at an impossibly blue river winding its way through towering ranks of basalt columns. These rock formations, sculpted by ancient volcanic forces and the relentless passage of time, rise in perfect geometric patterns, their dark faces streaked with the memory of glaciers that once concealed this canyon from the world. For generations, even locals barely knew Stuðlagil existed. Its beauty was hidden beneath swirling glacial waters, inaccessible and unremarked upon. But when a hydroelectric dam changed the course of the Jökla River, the water level dropped, and suddenly, the canyon's mesmerizing symmetry and luminous water were revealed, like unearthing a long-lost relic from a myth. Standing there at sunrise or sunset, the light transforms the basalt into a mosaic of gold and shadow, and the river glows with an almost otherworldly vibrancy. In these quiet hours, the only sounds are the rush of water and the wind echoing between the columns, giving the whole place an air of enchantment. It's easy to see why some say it seems carved by giants, a fantastical landscape that feels untouched by human hands. Even as more travelers discover it, Stuðlagil maintains its sense of hidden magic, a secret Iceland still keeps close. Exploring the canyon, you can walk along the riverbanks or climb above for sweeping views, each perspective offering a new appreciation for this natural wonder. In a country renowned for its otherworldly scenery, Stuðlagil stands out as a testament to nature's quiet power and its ability to surprise us, even in the most unexpected places. 14. Lake Sorapis, Italy. Deep within the heart of the Dolomites, Lake Sorapis awaits those willing to venture off the beaten path. The lake's turquoise waters shimmer with an intensity that seems almost impossible, a color so pure and vivid that you might question whether you're still in the realm of reality. Reaching it is no casual stroll. The journey is a challenging 2-hour trek that winds through dense forest, over rocky trails, and across narrow ridges. Yet with every step, the landscape gradually opens up, rewarding hikers with glimpses of wildflower meadows, towering limestone cliffs, and the ever-present scent of pine. The anticipation builds with each twist in the path until, finally, the lake appears, cradled in a bowl of jagged peaks that rise like sentinels into the sky. Here, the air is crisp and clear, and the only noises are the whisper of the wind and the occasional call of mountain wildlife, a marmot's whistle, the distant ring of cowbells. The surface of the lake mirrors the sky and the surrounding spires, creating a scene so perfect it feels almost meditative. Visitors often linger, sitting quietly at the water's edge, letting the beauty and tranquility wash over them. Lake Sorapis isn't just a destination, it's an experience in slowing down and reconnecting with nature's grandeur. The journey back feels different, the challenges of the hike softened by the memory of that serene turquoise pool and the profound stillness that lingers long after you've left its shores. 13. Senja Island, Norway. While the Lofoten Islands capture much of Norway's fame, Senja is where you find the country at its most raw and unspoiled. This vast, windswept island is a tapestry of contrasts. Sheer cliffs plunge straight into the Arctic Ocean, their faces battered by waves and crowned with tufts of wild grass, while just inland, dense pine forests give way to silent heaths and tranquil lakes. The coastline is dotted with fishing villages painted in cheerful reds and yellows, their houses clustered together as if drawing warmth from each other against the northern winds. Life here feels deeply connected to the rhythms of nature and the sea. In the summer months, Senja is drenched in endless daylight. Midnight sun paints the landscape in a golden glow that seems to suspend time itself, inviting you to wander long into the night. In winter, the island transforms yet again. Darkness settles in, but the sky comes alive with the swirling greens and purples of the aurora borealis, turning even the coldest nights into a spectacle of light. Driving the national tourist route, you'll find yourself stopping often at Tungeneset, where wooden walkways lead out over the rocks for panoramic views, or at the dramatic peaks of Segla and Husfjellet, which rise like ancient guardians above the fjords. The air here is so pure it almost tingles as you breathe it in, reminding you of the wildness that still exists in the world. Senja isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to experience solitude and a profound connection with nature's untamed side. 12. Velika Planina, Slovenia. Perched high above the rolling valleys of Slovenia, Velika Planina is a living postcard from a simpler, slower era. This broad alpine plateau is dotted with traditional wooden huts, symmetrical, steep-roofed structures that have sheltered shepherds for centuries. Here, traditions run deep. Locals still herd cattle across the meadows and craft tangy cheeses in time-worn huts, passing down their secrets from one generation to the next. In the warmer months, Velika Planina becomes a sea of wildflowers, buzzing with bees and alive with the gentle clanging of cowbells. The air is filled with the scent of grass and wood smoke, and the horizon stretches endlessly in waves of green. When winter descends, the plateau is transformed into a pristine snowscape, hushed, white, and still. Snowshoeing across the fields or simply standing quietly as flakes drift down, you'll find a peace that feels almost sacred, a reminder of life's essential rhythms. Watching the sunrise here is revelation. The first light spills over the hills, touching each hut and pasture with gold, while the world below slumbers in mist. Tasting fresh cheese, chatting with locals, or just wandering the winding paths, you're drawn into a way of life that values patience, community, and a deep connection to the land. Velika Planina isn't just a beautiful destination, it's a rare escape into authenticity, offering a glimpse of Europe as it was, and, in this place, still is. 11. Cíes Islands, Spain. Often nicknamed the Galician Caribbean by locals, the Cíes Islands have a way of making you forget the rest of the world exists. Step off the ferry from Vigo and you're immediately greeted by a hush, as if the islands themselves are holding their breath. There are no cars, no traffic, not even the distant hum of a city, only the natural soundtrack of waves, seabirds, and the soft whisper of pine needles in the breeze. The beaches are a revelation, long sweeps of powdery white sand, some so untouched you might be the only footprints for hours. Walk the winding trails that snake through fragrant pine forests, and you'll stumble upon secluded coves, hidden inlets where the water is impossibly clear, shifting from emerald to sapphire as the sunlight dances across it. Climb up to Monte Faroe Lighthouse and you'll be rewarded with panoramic views, the Atlantic stretching endlessly before you, the mainland a hazy memory. As evening falls, the sky blazes pink and gold while the sun slips into the ocean, and you'll realize you haven't seen a billboard or heard a single horn all day, just the sounds of nature utterly undisturbed. The Cíes Islands prove that paradise isn't always tropical. Sometimes it's wild, windswept, and closer to home than you ever imagined. 10. Lauterbrunnen Valley, Switzerland. Lauterbrunnen feels like it was conjured for a storybook, a place where every corner seems touched by magic. This glacial valley is astonishing in its beauty. Sheer cliffs tower above you, and from their heights, 72 waterfalls spill down in shimmering ribbons, misting the air and nourishing wildflower meadows below. The village itself, with its wooden chalets and flower-filled balconies, feels timeless, as if modern life can't quite reach into this peaceful fold of the Alps. It's no wonder Tolkien drew inspiration for Rivendell here. The landscape is otherworldly, the atmosphere hushed and reverent. Walk under the mist of Staubach Falls and listen to the rush of water echoing between the cliffs, or take the cable car up to Murin, a car-free mountain hamlet where every footstep brings a new, breathtaking vista. In the meadows, the sound of cowbells drifts on the wind, and the air is so pure you'll want to breathe in as deeply as you can. Watch paragliders dance above the valley, or simply lie in the grass and let the peace seep into your bones. In Lauterbrunnen, the chaos of the world feels miles away, replaced by a profound sense of serenity that lingers long after you leave. 9. Papigo, Greece. Papigo is Greece as you've never seen it, wild, mysterious, and steeped in ancient stories. Far from the bustling beaches, this mountain village nestles within the dramatic folds of the Pindus Range, where stone houses huddle together along cobbled streets, their slate roofs gleaming in the sun's last golden rays. The air here is crisp and invigorating, scented with pine and the distant promise of rain. As you wander the narrow lanes, you'll sense the presence of legends, tales whispered by the wind, etched into the very rocks that surround you. Venture outside the village and you'll find the Kalimbithrace pools, natural basins carved by icy mountain streams, their waters so clear and cold they sting your skin and quicken your spirit. Hikers will find endless trails through forests and up rocky slopes, each path revealing new vistas and hidden corners untouched by time. Papigo is a haven for those who crave the untamed, who seek out the soul of a place rather than its postcard image. It's the Greece of myth and mountain, where every shadow hints at a story and every sunrise feels like a secret revealed. 8. Grüner See, Austria. For most of the year, Grüner See appears to be a serene, unassuming park at the foot of the Hochschwab Mountains, until spring transforms it into one of nature's most astonishing spectacles. As the mountain snows melt, the valley fills with crystal-clear water, submerging meadows, benches, and walking paths beneath a luminous emerald lake. For a brief window in late May and early June, the world above and below the surface merges. Trees seem to float, wildflowers sway underwater, and sunlight refracts in kaleidoscopic patterns. Scuba divers flock here to glide between submerged benches and picnic tables, experiencing the surreal sensation of exploring a living park beneath the waves. But even if you stay on dry land, the magic is palpable. The water's clarity is dazzling, revealing every blade of grass and stone beneath, while the forests above shimmer with life. Grüner See is a fleeting marvel, a reminder that nature's most breathtaking moments are often the most ephemeral, and that sometimes, just for a moment, the world becomes a fairy tale. 7. Gorges du Verdon, France. The Gorges du Verdon is France's answer to the world's great natural wonders, a place where the landscape is as bold as it is beautiful. Carved over millennia, the gorge slices through the limestone heart of Provence, its cliffs soaring up to 700 meters above a river of startling turquoise. Adventure seekers flock here to paddle kayaks through tranquil stretches and swirling rapids, weaving past hidden beaches and limestone caves that echo with the call of birds. The sheer scale of the gorge is humbling. Whether you're floating on the water or standing at a lookout on the Cornish Sublime, the views are vast and unforgettable. Above, the sun bleaches the rocks and wildflowers cling to the edges, while below, the river glitters and carves ever deeper into the earth. The surrounding villages, Moustiers-Sainte-Marie, Castellane, offer a taste of Provençal charm, but it's the gorge itself that leaves the strongest impression. It's raw, untamed, and beautiful in a way that feels almost primeval. Here, nature is the ultimate artist, and every visit is a lesson in awe. 6. Gásadalur Waterfall, Faroe Islands. Perched on the raw, windswept western fringe of the Faroe Islands, the village of Gásadalur feels like it exists on the very brink of the map. For generations, this tiny cluster of turf-roofed houses was cut off from the rest of the world. Reaching it meant scrambling over rugged mountains, braving unpredictable weather, and surrendering yourself to the elements. Even now, with a tunnel finally piercing the ancient rock, Gásadalur retains its sense of splendid isolation. The wind, unbroken by trees or shelter, sweeps ceaselessly across the grasslands, carrying with it the salt tang of the sea and the wild cries of seabirds. The landscape has an untamed spirit, a moody stillness that lingers in the air and in the soul of anyone who visits. What truly defines Gásadalur, though, is its remarkable waterfall. Mulafossur plunges in a single, unbroken ribbon from the edge of the village cliffs, tumbling straight into the swirling turmoil of the North Atlantic below. Some days, the waterfall vanishes into a shroud of mist, its roar muffled by the fog, while on others, fierce winds whip the spray into ghostly patterns that drift far inland. Stand at the edge on a stormy afternoon, and you'll feel the raw power of nature, untamed, unpredictable, and yet achingly beautiful. There's a haunting quality in the silence that follows a gust, a sense of ancient stories echoing off the cliffs, as if the land itself remembers every footstep and whisper. Gásadalur isn't just a place, it's an experience of wild solitude, a chance to witness nature in its purest, most dramatic form. 5. Hallstatt, Austria. Hallstatt may be one of the most photographed villages in the world, but no picture can truly prepare you for its serene beauty when you see it firsthand. Nestled between steep, forested mountains and the mirror-smooth surface of Hallstätter Sea, the town seems to have been carefully painted onto the landscape, every pastel-colored house and flower-draped balcony adding to the scene's dreamlike quality. Early in the morning, as mist curls off the lake and the first sunlight touches the church spire, Hallstatt feels almost suspended in time. The hush is profound, just the gentle lapping of water against stone, the occasional toll of a bell drifting across the square, and the soft shuffling of footsteps on ancient cobblestones. Yet beneath its storybook charm, Hallstatt is layered with history. Salt has been mined here for thousands of years. Long before the Romans, long before the first tourists arrived, people were carving tunnels through the mountains in search of the white gold that built the town's fortune. The salt mines themselves are like underground cathedrals, echoing with the stories and sweat of generations. All around, small details, carved wooden signs, stone fountains, even the layout of the streets, hint at deep-rooted traditions and a way of life shaped by both hardship and beauty. To visit Hallstatt isn't just to step into a postcard, it's to walk through living history, to feel the gentle pulse of a community that has endured through centuries, all while being surrounded by scenery so perfect it hardly seems real. There's a peace here that soaks into your bones, a sense of wonder that lingers long after you leave, as if you've wandered into the heart of a fairy tale and, for a moment, become part of its story. 4. Svartifoss, Iceland. Hidden deep within the vast wilderness of Vatnajökull National Park, Svartifoss, or the Black Waterfall, emerges as one of Iceland's most unforgettable natural wonders. The journey to reach it is itself a miniature adventure. You wind your way along trails that traverse moss-draped lava fields and weave through stands of slender birch, the air crisp and charged with the promise of discovery. Along the way, glimmers of distant glaciers shimmer on the horizon, reminders of the powerful forces that shape this land. When you finally arrive, Svartifoss reveals itself in dramatic fashion. The waterfall pours in a slender white stream over a backdrop of dark hexagonal basalt columns. Structures so precise and orderly, they appear almost sculpted by human hands rather than by volcanic fire and ancient ice. These columns frame the falls with a stark geometric elegance, their black surfaces glistening with spray, creating a visual contrast that is both imposing and mesmerizing. It's easy to see why these formations inspired the soaring design of Reykjavik's Hallgrímskirkja church. They seem to capture the very essence of Iceland's wild spirit, fusing nature's artistry with a sense of myth and legend. Standing before Svartifoss, you can't help but feel the deep connection between geology and the old tales that have shaped Icelandic culture. This is a landscape forged in fire and sculpted by ice, a place where every stone and stream holds echoes of ancient sagas and the relentless creativity of the earth itself. Svartifoss is more than just a waterfall. It's an emblem of Iceland's raw, haunting beauty, a site where the boundaries between the physical world and the realm of stories grow thin, and where visitors are left awestruck by the meeting of natural power and timeless wonder. 3. Saksun Village, Faroe Islands. Saksun is the kind of place that feels untouched by time, as if it's been quietly keeping its secrets for centuries. Tucked away between towering cliffs that seem to rise straight out of the earth, the village is made up of only a handful of turf-roofed cottages, their grassy tops blending seamlessly with the wild green landscape. There's a timeless hush here, so profound that even the wind seems to move softly, and visitors find themselves speaking in hushed tones without realizing it. The tidal lagoon at the heart of Saksun is mesmerizing. When the tide recedes, it reveals rippled sand and smooth stones, inviting you to wander out onto the seabed itself. The distant call of the ocean is ever present, a reminder of how close and yet how remote this place truly is. As the tide returns, the water shimmers beneath the vast northern sky, turning everything silver and casting an ethereal glow over the village. Life here moves at a different pace, shaped by the rhythms of nature. There's a deep peace that seeps into your bones, a rare sense of stillness that makes you realize how seldom we encounter true tranquility in the modern world. 2. Giethoorn, Netherlands. Wandering through Giethoorn is like stepping into a fairy tale brought to life. With no roads or cars to disturb the peace, the village is crisscrossed by gentle canals that wind past centuries-old thatched roof cottages. Each house seems to have its own arched wooden bridge, creating a patchwork of pathways over water. The only sounds are the soft splash of oars and the rustle of reeds as small boats drift by, carrying visitors and locals alike at an unhurried pace. Flower-filled gardens spill color down to the water's edge, and families of swans glide past in silence. In every direction, there's an invitation to slow down and savor the moment, whether you're floating along the canals or strolling the quiet footpaths. Giethoorn's charm lies in its simplicity. It's a celebration of peaceful living and the beauty of everyday scenes. Here, You're reminded that joy can be found in stillness, in a shared smile with a passing boater, or in the gentle sway of willow trees reflected on glassy water. It's a place that lingers in your memory, inviting you to return to a slower, sweeter way of life. 1. Meteora Monasteries, Greece. Meteora is a place where reality feels suspended, where human ambition and the forces of nature meet in a breathtaking display. Here, ancient monasteries perch precariously atop towering stone pillars, their walls rising from the living rock as if conjured by some ancient magic. Built centuries ago by monks seeking solitude and a closer connection to the divine, these sanctuaries defy gravity and time, their weathered stones telling stories of faith, endurance, and quiet contemplation. The journey up to the monasteries is a pilgrimage in itself, hundreds of stone steps winding ever higher, each turn revealing new perspectives of the dramatic landscape below. When the sun breaks through the clouds and bathes the rocks in golden light, the entire valley seems to glow, dissolving the line between earth and sky. Standing there, you can almost feel the centuries of prayers and whispered hopes carried on the wind. Meteora isn't just a remarkable sight, it's an experience that leaves a deep impression, stirring something within you that endures long after you've left. The sense of awe, the silence, and the sheer improbable beauty of it all make Meteora a place you'll carry with you, in memory and in spirit. Europe is so much more than its famous landmarks and bustling capitals. Beyond the crowds and iconic skylines, there are hidden corners where the pace slows, and you're reminded just how breathtaking the world can be. It's in these serene villages nestled between rolling hills, in the untouched forests echoing with birdsong, and along tranquil lake shores where time seems to stand still. These are the places that invite you to linger, to breathe in the crisp air, and to truly connect with your surroundings. Make a promise to yourself. Don't wait for the stars to align or for the right moment to appear. Choose one of these secret havens and set out, whether it's scaling a rugged mountain for a sunrise that leaves you speechless, plunging into the refreshing waters of a secluded lake, or losing yourself among cobblestone lanes that wind through centuries of history. Adventure isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's found in quiet moments and unexpected discoveries. While memories may fade with time, that spark of wonder, the sense of awe you feel in these remarkable places, will stay with you, shaping your outlook long after you've returned home. If this video has sparked your wanderlust, we'd love to hear about the special places that have captured your heart. Drop your recommendations in the comments, give this video a like, and subscribe to join us as we uncover more hidden gems away from the typical tourist trail. So, until your next journey, remember, it's not just about traveling farther. Seek out those experiences that help you travel deeper, forging a connection with the world that will last a lifetime.